This is one. You can see this one has a toggle clasp. This one has a lobster clasp. And then this one that I have on, if you don't have all your supplies, you can tie it and just slide it on and off. So it's a fun little project. So we start with our disc, and each of you that has the kit has 4 pieces of cord, and I don't really measure, I just do like a full arm's length, about 42 inches, I think. So you're going to take all 4 of your cords, gather the ends, and you have a small piece of cord as well. And that'll come in a minute. And then grab the other end. So you have all 8 pieces, all 8 cut ends together. Find the center. And we're going to tie our small piece like so. So we're gathering them all up. Now, in order for it not to slip.
What did you do?
Sorry?
Oh.
Okay, so in order for it not to slip and slide and really annoy us, we do a surgeon's knot. So I have my circle here, and I put my end through once and then twice. And you can see how it forms a line across the top. Tighten it, and that's not going anywhere. A surgeon's knot is what I use to do the stretch bracelets as well, and they last for years. Okay, so I'm just going to put a single knot in there as well. All right. So once you have this, this is your tail, okay? The little bit that we tied on is called our tail. We place our tail in the hole here, and holding one set of our strings with our thumb, like so, we then start to put our cord into our holder. They go in as such, and I'm going to turn it towards you. This is one of the only projects I can turn everything towards you and still be able to do it. So I'm going to put my 2 silver on either side of the north. See how there's north, south, east, and west marked on your disc? 2 of the black at east. And then the other 2 silver, I'm going to put at south. And you all have different colors in your kits. I use all of my different cord just for fun. Okay, so that's how it's going to look. 2 at north, 2 at south, east and west, east and west. Okay? So once you have that done, this is the simplicity of Kumi. You're going to make this same thing over and over. You go from, okay, I can't tell you left and right because in the video it's going to be awkward that way. So you go from this side of south and you bring it up.
Can I? So this thing is in the middle, right? The tied up is in the middle, correct?
Sorry, the tail goes through the hole. Yes.
Yeah. So it's in the middle, and then the same color on north and south, and then the other color is on east and west.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So my tail has sort of popped out of the hole a bit, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. So we go top to bottom and bottom to top. So we take from this side to this side, and then this side to this side. Okay? And then we turn it a quarter turn. And we take top to bottom and bottom to top. And we turn top to bottom and bottom to top. And we turn. Now I go top to bottom. Phone rings, I leave it like this because if I have the 3 there, I can set it down, go do what I have to do, come back and go, oh, that's my bottom. Okay. If you don't do that, then you're trying to figure out which way the weave went, and it's really painful. So if you have to stop for anything, make sure you put top to bottom and leave it there. Okay, so then we go bottom to top, quarter turn. top to bottom, bottom to top, quarter turn. Now there are some kumi artists out there that put patterns into them and letters and everything. That's not my thing. I like kumi because it's relaxing and I don't have to pay any attention to it. So top to bottom, bottom to top. These are never crossing over each other. They just go top to bottom, bottom to top. Turn. And you see it's very relaxing, meditative almost. Top to bottom, bottom to top. And you just keep going. I can do actually 2 bracelets in the 1 hour class. It's that simple. Top to bottom, bottom to top, and turn. And you just keep going and keep going. I'll show you in a minute how it looks as it starts to form. I'm gonna pull it. There we go. And top to bottom. I just repeat this the whole time. Bottom to top. Turn. How's it going, ladies?
Oh, it's going.
Okay.
It's going good.
It's a very, very simple piece. Yes? Everyone good?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, and we just keep going. You want, for most people, about 6 inches, maybe 7 inches of cord done. So I will show you in a moment. Let me turn, and I'm going to bring one from the top and leave it at the bottom so I can turn this over and show you how it looks already. See that? That's how much I have already, about a little over 1 inch. So you see how very quickly it comes. And you know, you can keep going, make necklaces, you can make a belt. If you're really, really bored and you have lots of cord, you can make a throw rug. You can make placemats. Just weave them around and around and around and stitch them afterwards. There you go. And turn. So I do classes also with a group called Boomerang or Go Boomerang, and they're free as well. You don't get a kit, but I teach there on Mondays and Thursdays online, and I can have Emily send out the link. Muted someone accidentally trying to admit another person, so apologies if you got muted. Okay.
Sorry about that. I just realized I did that.
No worry. And you can always talk, Emily. It's not going to distract. This is such an easy pattern to go. But yes, I teach on Boomerang, through Boomerang on Zoom on Mondays and Thursdays. And I'm going to be teaching again in July and August with Scarborough. I'm going to stop that for a second. Look how much there is. I've got about 2 inches now. This Thursday, 2 days from now, on Boomerang, I'm teaching how to create a little maple leaf. Now this is a pin, a pendant, or a pin. We're going to make it smaller as well as a pendant. So that's our Canada Day special. You can make them for all your friends. As I said, there aren't kits included, but they do video record it and you can watch it after. This is one that we're doing in July or August here. I just did it yesterday with Boomerang. It's 3 peas in a pod, and you learn a little bit of wire working. And the other one that I'm doing with you guys in August, July or August, is the bird's nest pendant, but I don't have a sample of it with me here. But there's lots of really good photos of it on my website. Emily will send out a link, I'm sure, to my Facebook pages.
Yes.
And let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, this is beaded Kumihimo. So this one, we use thin cord, like thread, and we place beads on it, and then we drop beads in as we're going, and so there's beads all around the entire thing. It's gorgeous when they're done. Some of you got the beautiful mixed color, variegated color piece. This is what it looks like with the black. It just pops out, these little pops of color all through the bracelet. With Go Boomerang, I'm going to be teaching a series of chainmail classes because that's my specialty. So I'll be teaching these two different weaves. You start with just bags of rings and you create bracelets. Those are in July on Thursdays. We're going to have chainmail Thursdays. So please tune into both. As I said, they are free. I have a little mistake here, but I'm able to fix it. There we go. They are free, but you don't have a kit, unfortunately. But I can tell you where to purchase the supplies if needed. Otherwise, you can always just tune in and play along, watch the video. Okay, we're just going to keep going. I hope everybody got started well. If you feel like you need a question answered, please just ask. I hope everybody got their weave started. Okay. And bottom to top.
Is Wendy lost? She's okay.
Everyone's all right? Because I don't mind stopping and just instructing you. Normally when we're doing this in person, I'm walking around the class and checking everybody's work and making sure they're all caught up and that they all have it. This is a little more awkward because I can't see if you have got it or if you've made a mistake that I can easily correct.
So Laurie, just asking here, does it eventually move in terms of from the south, east, west, north from that?
They turn around the whole board.
Okay, they do.
Yeah, we just start with north, south, east, and west, so we have the equal amounts across.
So, so if I forgot, okay, now that I forgot to do that, how do I know where do I go if I forgot to do that third thing?
Okay, so you didn't put the 3 down? Okay, so you're gonna look at it and you'll see which ones go across the top of it.
Yes.
That's your, we're gonna call it east-west still. That's your left, right, east, west. Now, to figure out the top and bottom is a little more difficult. Yeah, because it always changes.
Is it the one, if this thing is on top of everything else, does that mean I'm now going silver?
Let me just see. Yes.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
black is across, then you're going silver. Yes.
All right. That's what I meant. Okay. Okay.
Okay. And luckily I stopped with the cord down. But yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun classes going on between Go Boomerang and Scarborough Art. And I think it's so important to keep busy during this time, but with things that are easy and that don't stress us out. So I'm not taking on any new projects of learning how to bead or anything like that that would stress me out. But this I find so relaxing. And working with wire, I find relaxing because if you make a mistake, you can straighten out your wire and start over. With beading, not to bash beaders, sorry, but with beading, I find that if you've made a mistake, you can't fix it. You have to go back, and it's a lot of work to go back through sometimes. And my thread always gets tangled when I do beading. Okay, and
all right.
So you see, I'm almost finished this first one, and it's only 22 minutes after.
You're so quick. I was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I've been doing this for a while too.
Yeah. It looks really great.
Thanks. No, they're very, very simple. And I teach at a Hebrew school usually on Sundays. 10 to 12 little girls, 8 to 12 years old, and they love Kumi. I swear if I tuck it in every week, they would be happy, but the parents probably wouldn't be. But I teach them jewelry making every week. Haven't seen them for a while now since March break, but they did beaded kumi even, which is a little more difficult, but they managed. Took them probably 4 or 5 weeks to get the beaded kumi. Some of them quit and just said, can we do plain kumi in the time? And I said, yeah, that's fine.
But if you do plain kumi, is there other kind of variations you do each week that would add to what skill they learn?
No, they just enjoyed it. They each got their own disc, and so they would take them home and come back with like 4 or 5 pieces that they did over the week. They just became addicted to doing it. You can do this with up to about 16 threads. And
oh, so you just keep adding the threads, you mean?
Yeah, you can have like 4 here, 4 here, 4 here, and you weave them differently. I don't bother. I do the straightforward kumi and the beaded kumi. But beaded kumi, like this one that I was wearing, is very tiny beads. You can do chunky beads too, and then it gives it a completely different look. I was cleaning out all my supplies yesterday, well, the past week, organizing everything. And I found a necklace that I'd done in kumi because it was supposed to be a bracelet, but I counted out my beads to what I thought I needed, and it ended up being, oh, let me turn this. It ended up being, instead of this long, this long. So now it's a necklace. And that's the best thing about kumi. If you make it too small, you just, where's my piece here? You just add an extender cord. If it's too long, if it's just the plain woven, you can take some out as you're going before you finish it off. You can take some out. Or you can, if it's beaded and you've made it too big, you can add a bit of chain and make it into a necklace. So it's a very versatile little loom. You can buy square looms for kumi and smaller looms. They do a little bit different, but not enough to worry about. Now the cord that you have, oh yeah.
What we call this card? If we go and buy this card, what is the name for this?
I was just about to say that. I was just about to pick it up and tell you. So this is called rat tail. Lovely name, but rat tail. And this is, some of you got 2 millimeters, some of you got 3 millimeter. I was just going through my stash. This is the 2 mil. And the 2 mil makes a little bit thinner bracelet. Let's see. If you can see the difference between those two, this one is 2 mil, this one's 3 mil. So it's just a slight difference. You can use 1 mil, 2 mil, 3 mil. I wouldn't go past 3 mil because it's hard to find caps for them, end caps.
Oh.
But like I said, you can also tie it. Now I didn't trim these off yet, but this one, I just tied them all together so that it's a finished bracelet. And I can slide this onto my wrist. And it's not going anywhere. You know, it has to be slid back off. So for kids and things, that sounded terrible. Kids or teenagers, you can
or seniors.
Or seniors where they don't want the clasp. You're right. So they slide on and off. You can make keychains. You can make pretty much anything with kumi. All right. So I have about 5.5 inches, I believe. I'm going to do a little bit more. And then I'm going to end this one, and you'll see how it's ended. Don't worry about ending yours yet, because I'm going to do it second one, remember? So you'll see how to end it, but you won't have to end yours yet. Don't worry. And you're going to have the video too. So I want to do my Kumi bracelet to about 6 inches because then I add the clasp and everything. It adds a good full inch to it. So in order to end it, I'm just going to measure mine just to make sure. I don't want to be. Yep, 6 inches on the nose. I don't know. Lately, I have had this rare ability of knowing exactly how long things are. I cut cord or I cut wire, and somebody will ask me, how long is it? And I'll say, well, it should be about 18 inches. And I'm measuring it exactly 18 inches. I don't know how I'm doing it. You've seen that, eh, Vera? Vera takes other classes with me with Go Boomerang. All right, to end. Sorry, I started without showing. All right, to end. Doesn't matter which side you start at. You take one from here and one from here, and sorry.
Also,
And tie a surgeon's knot.
oh, okay.
Pull it nice and tight. And then you turn it, because I like to do them one after the other. So I go from one side to the other. Oh, you can see that, okay. And I go through the hole twice for my surgeon's knot, and I pull really tight, and then I turn it. And this is just my preference. Other people may do just whichever ones they want, but this is the way I do it. Okay, turn it tight, and then the last two. You just bring it forward, go through the hole twice,
Yours is even longer than mine.
and nice and tight. So there's my finished braid.
Yours is such pretty bright colors.
Beautiful. I love it.
Okay, so that's one I had done before. And this one is very stiff. They get much more relaxed as you wear them. Like this
So
one's really
how do you
pliable.
put the clasps on afterwards?
I'm going to show you that now. Okay, so I think each of you got this type of clasp, the little tube one.
Yeah, we did, right?
There are two different ones that I like to use. Okay. This one has a little ball space at the end, so you can jam a little bit more of the material in there. If just using the straight cord, these ones are pretty good. Okay, so I need to trim off all this excess. So I just take a pair of scissors and I trim it pretty close. The surgeon's knots are not going anywhere, so you just trim it all off, give it a haircut, pretend it lives in peel. Okay, just like so. And then this one, you can undo it and take it out. It doesn't need to be there, and you don't need the extra cord. So I'm just going to untie it. And
Right.
if I can't untie it easily, I'll just cut it.
Look.
Sorry?
So it's kind of good to use it possibly the same color or not really?
Doesn't matter, it's going to be hidden anyways. There we go. All right, so you each have E6000 glue, the little tube of glue.
Mm-hmm.
This glue, this little tube, would do me about 6 classes with everybody using it. It's the only thing I had to go and grab from the store or have them grab for me. This tube keep, okay? If you have a rhinestone pop out of a brooch, if you have a stone come out of an earring or a ring, this is what puts it back in. This needs to dry 24 hours. So if you're using it with the Kumi or anything else, make sure that piece is set somewhere for 24 hours where it won't move. Getting dry. Okay. All right, so since we don't want it to move after we've got the ends on and glued, we're going to add our lobster clasp and our little rings to this now. So I'm going to grab out some jump rings. I have these containers that I buy at Princess Auto, and I have been redoing my studio this past week. I have 97 of these boxes in there filled with stuff, and they're all organized now. Did I bring out a lobster class? I don't think I did, so I'll just steal one. I'll take it off a piece that's already finished here just so I can show you. You need flat head or flat nose pliers, preferably without teeth, but if they have teeth, don't worry about it. That's fine. So I will take this off, and then I will show you how to open and close a jump ring. This is kind of important for any piece of jewelry. Pretty much anything you'll make has jump rings. So you need to know how to open and close a ring properly. So we hold one pair, our prominent hand holds the pliers horizontally. Our non-prominent hand, dominant hand, holds them vertically. The opening of the ring is at the top, and this is the only hand that moves, and it just rocks a little bit. See that? Like a motorcycle. You'll hear a click. That means my ring is close together. I'm going to slip my lobster clasp on there and one of my little dome end pieces. And then I'm going to close it. Again, because that's in the way, I'm sort of holding it at more of an angle, but vertically and horizontally. Click. And then I feel it. And I still feel a little bit of a joint there, so I'm going to just adjust it slightly until I don't feel anything at all. I'm holding everything out for the camera, so it's hard for me to see. There we go. Okay, so now I try and slide my fingernail into the opening. If I can slide it in, then it's not close enough, and your piece will fall apart. Okay, so we have
sliders.
Pardon?
How much are those tools that you're using?
These ones are my chainmail professional tools. They're $20 each. I sell them in my studio as well. I have just regular ones like this brand. This is my round nose pair that I have out. And they are $5 each. Mm-hmm. So depending on whether you want to use them all the time, or if you're just taking up a new hobby and you're not sure if you like it, that's the difference between the pliers. These are guaranteed for life, so I'll have these forever. And I have about 8 sets that I have for my studio for people to use when they're here. Okay, so we're going to build a little extender chain. So I want to open my ring, and remember, this is the only hand that moves. Put the other end of my end cap on. So this is the other end of my bracelet starting. And then I'm going to close this one. And again, feel it. Tiny little bit still. There we go. And then I'm just going to add on about 6 rings. I want a chain of about 6 or 8 rings. These rings are an 18 gauge 532 bright aluminum or anodized aluminum silver. They're all of my chainmail, other than the stainless steel and silver base, are aluminum, and it's a non-tarnish, hyperallergenic product. I have so many people come to my stand when I'm selling and say, oh no, I'm allergic to anything other than real silver. And I give them a few rings and I tell them to tape it to the inside of their wrist, which is what I was told years ago. And they come back and they buy my product because they don't have an allergic reaction to aluminum. The only thing I have to do is I have to upgrade their purchase to a sterling silver clasp because aluminum clasps aren't strong enough. You can't get them. So that's all. And so I have these people that have always spent fortune on any piece of jewelry come, and now they're able to buy a beautiful bracelet for $30 that they would have to spend $200 in silver. So if you have anyone with allergies, let them know. They can try aluminum. I also work with titanium, which is hyperallergenic as well, but that price goes up quite a bit. I'll show you a couple of pieces of chainmail if I have time. Okay, So that's my clasp. I mean, the extender chain. That's all I really need. If I need more, I can add it on later. So I don't usually use this indoors, but the new one. And one of you unfortunately got my squished up tube because I put it in one of the kits. Now I drip it and push it to each side of the clasp, putting lots of glue inside that little tube. Okay, I don't think you can see it. And then I burp the thing so it doesn't drip all over my board. And I take the one end and I just squish it in, making sure that all the ends go in, and I twist it a little bit, just so that it got the glue all over it in there. Okay, and then carefully, I do the other side. And carefully because you don't want to dislodge this one. So again, I squeeze a little bit out at a time. You can use a toothpick too, but I squeeze it, and so I squeeze it onto the side, coming out at all. Oh yeah, okay. I may have to check the other end. May not have had enough glue. Okay, and just squeeze it. And you can see there, all around the outside edge. And I'm just gonna switch it. Yeah, there wasn't enough glue on that side. All right, so I put that same piece in. Oh yes, I smell it now. I hate the smell of this glue, but it's the best glue on the market for jewelry. Okay, so just again.
And how much do those glue usually go for?
They're about $2 for the tube, but like I said, it does me forever. You can buy big tubes of it, but don't. I personally, teaching all the time, cannot get through a big tube. Okay, so this part is difficult. Okay, you're going to have to really work at squishing this into that cap. You may have a little piece that sticks out. Don't worry, you can trim that off with a pair of sharp scissors after. Now, if you have an old pair of pliers or a paper clip, one of the big thick paper clips, push it in with that. So I'm going to grab a piece of wire from my table because yesterday's class is still sitting here. And I'm just going to try and push it in. That wire's too thin. Let me put the lid on my glue and then we'll work it some more. But as I said, if you have a little bit that sticks out like this, don't worry, you can trim that off afterwards. But you'll see as you work it in, it gets more into this bulbous part here, and you can shove more in. So I don't want to use my good pliers. Looking around my table here. I'm not in my studio because my Wi-Fi is not great back there. So that's why I'm in my dining room. Okay, this is a bigger, thicker piece of wire. Let me just try. Yesterday we were making the 3 peas in a pod necklace. It was fun. And I didn't realize how short a time it took. I hadn't made one in a while. And we were done 2 of them in half an hour. So I had to kill half an hour. So I showed them how to use the same technique to make focal beads for bracelets. It was fun. Okay, so you see I've got one side fully pushed in. The other side, there's a little bit sticking out, but I'm not going to stress on that because the glue is holding it all together in there. I want to make sure I have all the little knots in there. That's all I worry about. And some people will say, oh, I got a bit of glue on the outside. Well, it's not a big deal. If you're that much of a perfectionist, then you can take it off before it dries. But I'm not going to worry about that sort of thing. Okay, so I've got it as shoved in there as I can. I will take a very sharp pair of scissors and trim off the last little bit. And there's your bracelet with the 2 ends. This has to dry 24 hours before you can wear it. It should be set down nicely right away and left. So we have enough time. I can start another one. How's that? Does everybody want to see me start another one just so they know how?
Yes.
Okay. So I just pull my cord, and like I said, I don't measure. I do about an arm's length, and I snip. And I want to do 2 strands of each. So all I do, sorry, I'm off camera there. I just snip it, hold the 2 sets together now, and pull it again. And that way I'm measuring it as I go. And then I trim. Yeah, those of you that managed to get the multicolored cord, that's the last of it. I hope I can order some later when John Bead opens again, but that was the last I had in my studio. Okay, so we take it so that we have all 8 cut ends together, and we find the center. Some weird noise happening in my building. And we tie a surgeon's knot. A surgeon's knot is just going through that hole twice. Whoop. And you'll know that you have it when you see this lovely little line across the top of your knot. And I usually end a surgeon's knot with a single knot. It's just habit. All right, so this is called your tail. The tail goes into the little hole, and it will pop in and out. Now, you can also do 1 black, 1 silver on each of the 4 corners. Just switch it up a bit. And I always hold it with my thumb and finger so that it doesn't slip out of the tail part. Because if you don't hold it with your thumb and fingers, it'll slide through there and you'll get really uneven. Okay, so that's my setup. 2 on either side of each letter, north, south, east, and west. And we go top to bottom, bottom, top, and turn 1/4. You can turn whichever way, is most comfortable for you. Just make sure you turn it the same way each time. Okay, top to bottom. And if I can do this quickly, you'll see the different color. I'm using the same colors, but you'll see that there's a different pattern to it. So let me just whip along here so that you can see at least an inch of the cord or so. So any other questions about any jewelry making?
Yeah, Tao, yeah. I just want to know, I can review your video later, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're recording it. We're recording it right now, and it'll be available on the Scarborough Arts website. Hopefully by tomorrow. I'm just gonna make sure everything's okay.
Okay. Yeah, because I kind of missed the beginning, so okay.
That's okay. Yeah, no worries.
Well, this is the beginning all over again, so you're fine. So we're just going top to bottom, bottom to top.
Did you finish yours, Leah?
Sorry?
I just see that Leah's done. I love that.
Oh, okay. Let me go and look at Pete. Let's see. Leah? Lee or Le? Oh, yeah. Very good. Nice.
Let's see yours, Nita and Yana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And you see how relaxing it is. Like, you can just sit here and, I didn't move my thing. You can just sit here and relax and do it. I can watch TV and do this thing, but then I can watch TV and do chainmail. Let me get enough that I can show you, and then I'll also show you some more of the chainmail that I do. It's some of it is very intricate. Others are very simple. And, you start with the simple and build your way up. I hope that, though, that you'll all go and sign up for the Boomerang class on Thursday. There are still tickets available for the Canada Day piece. Most of my classes, that one got up late because I had to make the piece. I didn't have it made before. It got up late, so there's still tickets available. Normally, all of my classes are sold out for weeks. but that one is available. So. I'm going fast and not tucking them in well enough. So
and then to get the materials for any of those classes, do we just, how is it done? Is it pick up and drop off as well, or?
They don't supply the kit. If you wish, I can sell a kit and they can be picked up at my building. I'm at Birch Mountain Shepherd.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But I don't go out. We're still in full isolation mode here, just because my husband has health issues. So
for the next, sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry about that. So that one is not a part of Scarborough Arts programming, but for the next 2 programs for Laurie's workshops, we will still be providing workshop materials. So stay tuned for that that'll be launched July 4th. So if you just stay tuned to our website or social media, you can sign up for that as well. And I can do socially distanced delivery or pick up again.
Yeah, and I'm as I said to you, I'm willing to, if anybody in Markham and Ellesmere area, I'm willing to drop off on your behalf if you wish.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Okay, so I'm going to show you the difference. This was where I had 2 white and 2 black on either side, so they were separated. This is when I had a black and white, black and white. So you can see the different pattern. Okay, let's put them together. So that's how they do it. That's how you get different looks. Okay, bye Vera. Have a fun day at work. Vera tunes in from work for most of my classes. Okay, so chainmail. I will show you one of the more intricate pieces that I do. This is called Dragon Scale. And it is just a gorgeous piece. It's one of my favorites. And it's so pliable. And it looks like scales. You do it in a 2-tone or more. I usually do a 2-tone. And, you know, in July, I'm teaching this one through Go Boomerang. This is captured bead chainmail. And these 2. So this is the initial one. This is your first one to start out with. The 2x2 chain with a Mobius. So very, very simple. Then we graduate to a barrel weave. And then I'm not sure what the third, then we do shaggy loop, which is a really, really simple one. And then onto the captured ball chainmail. So what else? Oh, okay, so the necklace I'm wearing and this piece here are both simple loops, simple and wrap loops. So it's just wire. I put the beads on the wire and I make little loops. And it's a slip over the neck piece. I added a little dangle to each one just for a little flair. And I teach those through the other one. This is stretch bracelet, which I would love to do a Scarborough Arts when we're back in person. It's just an easier class to do in person. And I teach just 3 or 4 different ways of doing a stretch bracelet. So lots of different options for classes. I'm having to see what I can do online rather than in person, because it is more difficult to teach online because I can't go around and see how everyone's doing. I have a bag here of stuff I've taught already. Let's see. This is one of my very favorite designs that I've ever done. It's called the Lariat necklace. And I teach how to wire wrap 5-drilled crystals and form a lariat. So that's one I just taught recently. But yeah, tune in. The next 2 I'm doing with Scarborough Arts are really fun ones, and I think everybody's going to have a great time. I've also done in the past a Jewellery 101 or a repair cafe, and that's basically, we could do that through Scarborough Arts too at some point. I asked people to send in pictures of their broken pieces, and I set up a little demo and I show you how to fix it. Then I go through all of the tools that I use, all of the equipment. Yeah, I just go on for an hour on the different tools and supplies and what about jewelry making. Okay, so if you're gluing in, if you have a balcony or something, go out there and glue. It's not that bad, but it's just smelly. Like, I can't smell it in the air anymore already, but it is a little smelly. The beaded one, I would love to do a class, but all the students have to be really well prepared because you have to have your beads strung on your thread before the class starts, because I can't really teach anything if you're stringing on a couple of hundred beads. It takes too long. So that's about it. Those of you that didn't see, this is one of our July or August projects here, and you can get the kit. The other one is a bird's nest necklace, which I didn't have a sample of it on my table here, but you can see it on my Facebook pages. Okay, and anything that is on my Facebook pages, I will teach, unless it's something I can't teach online, of course. So, any other questions, ladies? Everybody's quiet now.
Well, I just wanted to say, if nobody else has any other questions, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Laurie and to all of you for being here. We really appreciate being able to offer these kinds of workshops, and for Laurie's flexibility as well in doing Zoom workshops like this, and also for your interest in doing them. Like Laurie mentioned, she will be back in July and August with confirmed dates coming out on July 4th. As well, for everybody's knowledge, we do have a continued roster of Community Connects online programs happening this week as well as next week. So you can sign up for those too in the same way that you signed up for Laurie's. We have advertising on Facebook, on our website. Yeah, and if anybody has any questions as well for myself, feel free to email me. But yeah, thank you everybody for being here.
Who are you again? Sorry, who are you?
Me? Oh, my name's Emily Pelche. I'm the program manager.
Right, Emily. Right.
Yeah.
I remember now. Okay, I met you. Okay.
Yeah, I saw you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah, I got Laurie and Emily mixed up. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, and Emily, you can include my email in the email to them.
Okay, that sounds good.
And then if you have any questions, just shoot me off an email.
That sounds good. And I will also, I'll send an email to everybody too, just to let you know when this video is up on our website too, for your reference. Yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, everybody.
Again.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, leave it.